Well, morning, fellow zombies. Almost damn near 4 o'clock in the morning. I just did another video concerning about something that was irritating like that. It's about 3:52 in the morning. It's still the 23rd. And it's Monday of August. How's it going, guys? It's the Zombie Weaver from Rosewood, California. Oh my God, he's back again. Run like hell. He's going to drive you crazy with his folksy humor. I don't know what it is with me that I am so damn dark and depressive and moody as hell that people don't even want to listen to a long-winded bag like me unless they're bored as hell. Because usually the information I'm talking to people left and right is about my own personal experiences left and right. I must be worse than that old-time Richard Lewis comedian a long time ago when he complained about his own dark side. Not to mention science back in the 80s and 90s when these guys were popular right enough. And they're talking about their own depressive situations left and right. Yeah, we all got our own depressing dark sides at this point over here. Last video I was talking about, last couple of videos I was talking about, I was concerning about a process of dealing with life support. It's dealing with how to survive a working world with money, or trying to get the working world and getting money out of it. It's how to deal and cope with a county system left and right. How to deal with the process of it all, and stigma. It does bring out the old-time memories and also the old-time feelings of what they used to be. I guess in the third part of this depressing, boring as hell series over here that people turn off. And by the way, do I have to do the disclaimer one more time? I don't want to do the disclaimer at this point. I don't even want to tell people, please, I need the subscribers, just like me, please, because Google and YouTube demand it by terms and conditions here. Not so much for that advertisement, for it anyway. Sorry, I'm as real as I come. I don't try to do the fake stuff like I've seen other people saying. Hey, I'm this kind of fake guy over here. I'm trying to be as fake as I can, or as nice as I can. Look at me with my smiles. Yes, I've seen the smiles. You haven't seen the grimaces talking about real life left and right. Unless, of course, you're going to be gribbling about people left and right. Specifically. I want to grumble about this person. Or this type of person over here, right? They're boring. They're smiling. They're laughing. They're trying to show that they're people persons. Yeah, I'm a grousy. I'm a grumpy, grousy kind of person. I grouse too much. Growl. When it comes down from memories that I've got over here concerning about things I've been through, man, I don't even like to talk about some of them. I did say about a third installment concerning about. I should call the installment the destitute situations. I was explaining in an earlier version concerning about the paperwork of old and yore regarding to lovely food stamps, and the second one, how to get a processed card, and just how to deal with it and the stigma around you. The third one is usually the one that people hardly ever talk about or even want to talk about, is the food giveaways. For the past decades, it's gotten worse and worse these days. Food giveaways are usually done by word of mouth and by church groups left and right, who give other people the information that passes around throughout the community, especially those who are needing the life support necessary. They usually don't advertise it all that much on television or on radio that there's a food giveaway happening these days. And because of the COVID-19 we've got going on, the food giveaways are becoming more and more popular these days. See, back then, about 20 to 30 years ago, you didn't hear anything. Of course, you heard about it through food pantries for your own church or community groups. And that there are organizations out there that actually are willing enough to give a bag of grocery or two from people donating left and right. Stores would do it. People in the neighborhood would do it because they didn't want other people to starve. So going to places like this, these kind of things have been going on for a hell of a long while. Longer before I know. Way before me. Way. And I'm talking about like I just discovered the damn thing, and I didn't. Only because I've also been through the system. Not exactly a system. It feels like a system, but it's not a system. It's just places to go for when you're not doing a convenience grab and go and you only got maybe 2 cents left. But if you're doing a desperate situation where you need to get some food, don't argue about it. You just go. It's not like dealing with McDonald's or anything else like that. They're going to be giving you free hot food like that. Unless, of course, that you see one second. Breathing issues. In certain places, they actually do give out hot food, a hot meal here and there. Whoever needs a hot meal, they can get one. Just a plate of something. Something to tide you over for that night. And it's supposed to be a feel-good community situation there. What I've seen, and I have experienced people who have been scared as hell. It's the first time they go and they're asking questions something way. And they feel like they're getting chided and given a hard time by those who are over there because they don't know the little systems that are there. I know a few places on the Antelope Valley that the staff treats you as human beings. It's the people outside that's the ones you have to worry about. But sometimes they're not all like that. You wait outside early in the morning until the gate opens up about an hour and a half before the place really opens up. You have to get their volunteers. And then you walk into a gated area. And they got chairs and tables, picnic tables. Pick your chairs, long benches. And you can sit down. During the heat of the day, when it really becomes like 80s, 90s, 100s, you really feel blessed when you actually have the water sprays on you, the misters on the outside edges, and you get cooled off enough so you don't have to die of dehydration. Of course, having a free bottle of water is a small bottle, but still, it's hydration. They don't want you to die out there in the first place. There was one particular place out in Lancaster. Grace Resources. I'll put them on the map here. These guys have been around for decades, and they've been helping people out for a long while. They have a fantastic staff out there that can help out people. They got programs. Funded and supported by community members and donors, that they're able to help out the public as best as they can. Going over there for the first time with my brother was embarrassing as hell. We were told about the place, and we go in, and the people are just like regular people off the streets, or even from your neighbors that you don't even realize. You hear the stories that they go through. The ones that have been going there on a constant basis, they act like it's like, hi, how you been doing? Well, I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? Well, see, about a month ago, I've been over here and I've been over there, and well, this thing happens and that thing happens. When you're going to a lot of food giveaway places, you discover that there's a community out there. And they go to place to place to place to get the food. There had been a few shysters who actually take the food and try to resell it, but for the most part, they get as much as they can because they can't earn enough. And it's a struggle for survival. You go through the lines. You go through the little bit of paperwork process, the little identification, so they can keep track. Grace Resources has an orientation class on Wednesdays. And once you go through the orientation class, they tell you everything what the program has to offer. Of course, you get your food every month. You go on certain days, either Tuesdays or Thursdays, and you get your food, either the morning shift or the afternoon shift. It'll last you maybe about a few days, but you know, it's enough. Sometimes a little bit longer. And then the next month you go back in, and again, and again, and again. So it was kind of heartwarming to talk to people personally about it. They actually do care. They deal with a hell of a lot of people, and sometimes it seems like it's overwhelming them, but if you keep up a good smile and you laugh with them and you talk with them, it doesn't make it all that hard for them or for yourself. It's embarrassing and humiliating asking for food. Before the COVID nightmare hit, it was the most embarrassing thing sometimes. And some places actually did have competition in them regarding who got in first line so they could get the first ticket so they could get in there fast. But the problem is, in certain places, it didn't exactly help them very much for that, but they still had the mindset for it. They had lines saved out for the night before they camped out for it. The ones that gave out, the places that actually gave out more and more rub, as much as they could get. They got more and more of a turnout, and it got crazy. Got crazy. There's one particular place I remember that you had to listen to a religious service first, and then indoctrinations before you get food. Of course, they gave you all sorts of outs, but they wanted you to stay. But we got the food anyway. For those who walk in and those who walk in cars, and they shove it full of food. Must be about maybe 2 or 3 weeks if you like. And then people go over to different places and already get the line saved, so they get more food. Some people actually look at it as a business, and others look at it for pure survival. And when you're down on your luck and you're in between the paychecks at this point over here, you can't say, I don't want to do this. You're going to say this, I have to do this. And you discover that there's a community of people in there that actually share your own situations. That your own neighbors that you don't even realize actually have the same situation. That when you go to the food giveaway places and you go there long enough, you develop relationships. You actually start caring about some of these people because they actually mean a damn thing in your life, and they're your neighbors. They're your neighbors. And it kind of hurts me when I see people drop off left and right, or die off left and right. For a few years, my brother and I were, when I was taking care of my brother over here, we would go to the food giveaway places, and we would make some friends of them. We'd have some relations. Some of those people actually meant a damn thing to us. One of the guys was an amputee warden. But he got more and more amputated because he was dealing with type 2 diabetes and got to the best of it. And they couldn't save him. Gangrene too much. Word of advice to myself. I have to be careful about my own. in those food giveaway places, I'd seen other people coming from Salvation Army doing them, and we'd be able to say, hi, how you doing, how's the family, and would communicate and chat with each other. The food they would get is usually the food that they would have over at the local stores that would donate, and we'd get the remnants. But sometimes you just don't argue. Use what you can. Use what you can. Other churches in the area also get food donated from their own parishioners and from other sources to make sure that we all don't go hungry. Going hungry is not very easy to go through. I know, as large as I am, you think I'd be eating on a constant basis, and I haven't been. I know my metabolism has screwed me over one way or another. And I probably have done it too. It doesn't mean I'm on a constant need for feeding myself with Big Macs, French fries, and chocolate shakes all the damn time. No. I'm usually eating smaller portions of these days. Sometimes larger, but smaller portions. And I still have the weight. I know it's my own damn genetics and biology. But when it comes down for food giveaways, I have been doing those when I can. When I can. And also when I can get to them as well. It's not shameful for looking for food like this. It's not a shameful stigma. What's shameful enough is when you don't talk to people about it. You don't take the effort and the time necessary to say, I need help, I can't do this anymore. There are resources out there. You just have to find them. In your own local communities, your own local neighborhoods, your own local churches and county buildings. Social services usually have all the information regarding county services. But as for the community level, that's where you go to your churches because you know more. If you happen to go to church. And they would help you out about the food situation. For the longest time, since I can recall, as even a young toddler, when I got indoctrinated into a church, they had a food pantry program. Now, I knew soup kitchens have been going on since centuries. This in our country and beyond that, I don't know, but there had been food giveaways going on. And the act of kindness doesn't go away, it just flowers and blooms and spreads like allergies. But it's still out there. If you're feeling stigmatized about the damn food thing regarding county, don't. The only thing I gotta say about the county services, they'll save your ass for a point, but then again, you gotta do all the legwork yourself on that one. You can't royally depend upon county because at the point county's gonna say, you need to prove to us that you're doing what you can to look for work. Otherwise, we're not going to keep feeding you this way. I know in our Southern California area, and I know certain state legislatures and even our federal legislators are doing the same thing. Making rules and regulations for that. Even with the COVID, our elected officials out there are trying to make it harder and harder for us to have food on the table. If we're not working our asses off, then we shouldn't be eating. Of course, they've never been through the food lines before, and they think it's a giveaway. And other people think it's still, it's a crock of crap going through the giveaways. Well, until they've been through it, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Unless they've walked that path, and I know the path to them. That's all I'm going to be saying for it right